All right, we're diving into one of the most powerful and, honestly, most misunderstood ideas from ancient philosophy, Platonic Eros. And I can promise you this is about way more than just, holding hands. This is about the fire that actually drives you. So let me just ask you this straight up. What do you think is the most powerful force inside you? I mean, the thing that really drives your actions, your thoughts, your biggest ambitions? Is it your intellect, your emotions, just basic survival instincts? Well, for the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, his answer would probably catch you off guard. He'd say it's a kind of love, this deep cosmic desire he called Eros. But, and this is the important part, his whole take on this force goes way beyond romance. It completely challenges how we think about what motivates us. So yeah, let's unpack this. Okay, so first things first, we've got to get one thing straight. When Plato talks about Eros, he is not just talking about romantic love, not even close. For him, Eros is this fundamental cosmic impulse. Think of it like the engine of all creation, this deep yearning that moves everything in the universe. We're talking souls, stars, the whole shebang, always pulling it towards something greater. And Plato's definition of Eros is just, it's so cool. He didn't see it as a god or as a human thing. He called it a daemon, which is like an intermediary spirit. It's literally a bridge, right? A connection between our everyday mortal world and the divine. And get this, it's born from a feeling of lack, of missing something, but it's always striving for wholeness, for abundance. It's the engine of aspiration itself. But here's where it gets really interesting. To truly get what Eros is, you have to understand its polar opposite. Because according to Plato, our souls are basically a battlefield. There are these two competing desires inside all of us, and they are constantly pulling us in totally different directions. So, on one side, you've got Eros. This is that divine longing we're talking about. It's like our soul has this deep, buried memory of being whole, and it has this intense desire to get back to that state. This is the force that pulls you upward, towards truth, towards being a good person, towards what Plato called the form of beauty itself. It's your drive for meaning, for connection, for something infinite. And then, on the other side, you have epithemia. This is that raw, irrational craving. It's all about immediate gratification. You're hungry, you want food now. You're thirsty, you want to drink now. It's all those physical, sensual pleasures. Now, Plato says it's not necessarily evil, but it's chaotic, it's temporary, and it's always pulling the soul downward, keeping it stuck in the material world. So there it is. That's the core conflict in a nutshell. You've got Eros pulling you up, towards the eternal, towards wholeness, and you've got epithemia pulling you down, towards the temporary, the fragmented. One is this refined aspiration for what is truly good in the long run. The other is just a chaotic impulse for what feels good right now. And trust me, understanding this tug of war is everything. Okay, so where exactly does this big battle take place? Well, Plato actually gives us a map of our own minds, or what he called the psyche. He breaks it down into a three-part soul, and this map shows us exactly how this whole internal conflict is laid out. And here it is. Plato saw the soul in three distinct parts. Up top, in your head, that's the logistikon. That's your reason, your love of learning, the part that's supposed to be in charge. Then in the chest, you've got the thumoides. This is your spirit, your emotions, things like anger, ambition, courage. And then, down in the stomach and below, that's the epithemiakon, the home of our appetites. And yep, that's where that chaotic force epithemia lives. And Plato, he really didn't pull any punches when he described this part of us. He called the appetitive soul a many-headed beast. Just picture that for a second. A powerful, chaotic monster with all these endless conflicting cravings. It's such a vivid image, right? It perfectly captures the wild nature of our basic desires when there's nothing higher to guide them. Now, this is so important. Plato's solution isn't to try and kill the beast. You can't. A healthy or just soul, as he would say, is all about harmony. It's where reason, the logistikon, is the wise charioteer, gently guiding everything. And spirit, the thymoides, acts like its ally, helping to keep the appetites in check. The goal is integration, not crushing our desires. So the big question is, how do we actually do that? How do we achieve that harmony? How do we use that incredible upward pulling force of Eros to guide our entire self? Well, Plato gives us this absolutely beautiful metaphor for this whole process, this journey of spiritual growth. It's called Diodous' ladder. Think of this ladder as a path for leveling up your soul. It starts with something we all get, the love for one single beautiful person. But Eros, that divine longing, won't let you stop there. It pushes you to see that beauty exists in all people. And then your desire gets even more refined. You start to appreciate inner beauty, the beauty of a great mind, of just laws, of powerful ideas. Until finally, at the very top of the ladder, you get a glimpse of the source of it all, beauty itself, pure, unchanging, and absolute. And this, right here, is the big takeaway, the transformational key. Your desire, that deep longing you feel, it's not something to be ashamed of or to crush. It is the sacred fire. It's the fuel for your entire journey of growth. The real art, the spiritual work, isn't about putting the fire out. It's about learning how to tend to it, how to refine it, and how to aim it at higher and higher things. Now, this idea of Eros being this fundamental life force, it was so powerful that it just echoed down through the centuries. It got picked up and adapted by different schools of thought, but it always held on to that core, powerful insight. I mean, look at how this idea travels through time. You have the Neoplatonists like Proclus, who took Eros and blew it up into this divine cosmic glue holding all of reality together. Then, fast forward thousands of years, and you get Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis. He literally names his fundamental life drive, the libido, directly after Plato's Eros. He saw it as that same exact force, the one that's always striving for connection and for unity. And believe me, the parallels do not stop there. Just look at this. Plato's many-headed beast, that appetitive part of the soul, it is a shockingly close match for Freud's concept of the id. I mean, both are described as these chaotic, irrational cauldrons of desire just demanding immediate gratification with zero sense of right or wrong. It's an ancient idea that sounds incredibly modern, doesn't it? So what all this really shows us is that Plato's framework, it isn't just some dusty old philosophical idea. It's a living, breathing map of our own inner world. This struggle between our higher aspirations and our more basic cravings, this battle between Eros and epithemia, it's a conflict that basically defines the human experience. It's just as real for us today as it was for people in ancient Athens. Which brings us right back to where we started, but with a much deeper question for you. Think about your own desires, for your career, for a relationship, for knowledge, even just for comfort. What's the Eros underneath all of that? What is the higher unity, the greater beauty that your soul is really searching for? Because that is the fire within.